till I came here.
Dead Island 2. This is an okay game. It's good, it was aight. Could have been better here and there, but it was fine. It's not like the old games, but it's weird, the combat and stuff felt very familiar. It was about the same with some different minor changes. But it was yeah, I don't know. Took place on an took place in Cali, which isn't really an island. That's what made Dead Island 1 so good. But I guess Riptide was more based on a boat or something. I haven't played Dead Island since PS3, so Dead Island and Riptide. I'm actually gonna replay those soon. Yeah, I was excited for this one. You know, it's been so long, and this is one of the few PS3 games I actually played and liked, and to have it come back next gen, PS5 now. Good graphics, all the detail. It still felt very arcadey and kind of janky and wonky and loose, but that's its charm. Yeah, stakes don't feel as high because you're not really on an island. Like, you're not trying to survive and get off of a small body of water in the middle of nowhere and with dead people trying to eat you all day. But it's fine. It is a sequel, so they needed to do something. You know, we all know what Cali is, and you know, it's familiar. We know what it looks like. We know the areas, the names. I don't know where Dead Island 1 was, like Hawaii or something? Some knockoff generic discount Hawaii? I don't know. Probably just assume that, right? Without being specific about it, but I mean, Cali is on a continent, on a big rock floating in the middle of the water. It's part of a country, so it's not a territory like something like an island would probably be, but call it an island if you want. Yeah. I do still think, though, from what I remember, that I don't know, Dead Island 1, I barely count Riptide, to be honest, but dude, Dead Island 1 was just fun, especially I was watching some streams recently of it, and I was like, damn, dude, the nostalgia. Yeah, like the Aussie guys, and you know, the cars and trucks and the weapons, and you know, exploring, the quest, the adventure, the journey, the walking around, daytime, nighttime, the bases, the little hub areas. I don't know, it's just fun. And thankfully, That's still in 2 as well. I could get to like a safe area and, you know, kind of do some crafting, whatever you gotta do, but I just love that, being cozy and safe and like somewhere where the zombies can't touch you, because the constant zombie killing is kind of annoying. Like, it is one of those games, unfortunately. Like, I wish there was like less of it, to be honest, but and in the way there kind of is, but it's like, you know, the areas they give you, there's zombies, they're gonna be there no matter where you are. You'll be lucky to get like 5 minutes to yourself to like think or recuperate or refocus, re-energize, reorganize, reprioritize. Just kind of get your head in the game, and but it's like, unfortunately, it's kind of like what turns me off to Dead Rising. It's like, dude, I want to play a game where like I'm not being bugged and bothered fucking every step of the way. You know, that's fucking retarded. Just let me explore a little bit, man. That's why I like open world games, is because you can kind of like just do whatever you want. You have moments of privacy. Who the hell doesn't like some privacy here and there? Real life in a game, I don't care. And it's one of those things where, you know, if you want to play a game that does what you want a game to do, and you're in that mood or whatever, go do that. But you can't even play a good zombie game like Dead Island without... That's just who I am. Like, the next person over might not even care, they might have not even thought about something like that at all. But me, it's like, I like to immerse myself in these games. Especially with how immersive they make games, first person... immersion, story, single player, it's kind of part of the deal, right? Hello? Like, hey, if I was here in real life, if this was me, if this is really happening, would I actually have to be killing zombies like everywhere I go? Really? There's no reason why you can't have an alleyway or like a street that's zombie free. I think zombies have been done so much that like people just automatically think, oh well, they're everywhere and it's like World War Z and they're just all over the place and horde mode and all these things. It's not always the case, man. If I wanted a zombie horde mode game, honestly, I'll just go play Back 4 Blood or the Left 4 Dead or whatever, right? And I feel like that's what they're trying to do with this, because there is a co-op option, which I think kind of ruins it for me. There's some sort of co-op online thing. I have no idea. So, okay, there's that, but like, it still doesn't change the fact that, like, you know, if this is my own kind of spiritual thing and I'm trying to survive, man, it's me against death. Do I want to be fighting zombies the whole way through? There's a time and place for it, man. Space it out better. Something, man. Give us less areas if you have to. I liked all the settings and the places, but like... Like, you have your safe place, man, but that's not really my point. Like, what if you want to pause? Or not even press pause, but you just want to stand there for 5 minutes without getting killed? There's honestly not a lot of great places to go do that at. If you just want to get up for a minute, man, take a break. But you're not really into the pause button and stopping the game completely, and I like to kind of keep it open and still be in it. And the only time you should have to press pause, man, is when you're like a kid and your freaking mom comes in. Hey, it's time for dinner. You know, or like, but I guess the most most kids would probably just be like, ah, after this level or something. Or like an emergency happens, or like so you get a phone call, or I don't know. Because pausing almost kind of like ruins the game for me in a way, because you're not really in it. Like even going into the menus is one thing, man, but like... yeah. Cutscenes are cool.
Hey, I'm human! Anyone injured?
Just a few bruises. I think we got lucky. I'm Michael.
Amy.
This is fucking tremendous!
Emma, darling, I'm so sorry about Robert.
Cutscenes are... make a good movie, a good game movie, good zombie movie. I think the whole Callie thing gets overdone way too much, but whatever. What are you gonna do? To be fair, it's mostly a movie thing, I would probably say, but you know, how many games are based in California? I guess for those who haven't been, or they don't live there, or, you know, not from the area or the country or whatever, it's kind of cool in that way, and I get kind of why, because that's kind of the tourist spot. Which is like, you know, I know that's where a lot of the entertainment industry is, but like, you can go like anywhere else and it's about just as probably exciting. I don't really get that appeal, but whatever. Yeah. You know, New York, Portland, Oregon, Seattle. Which, to be fair, games take place there too, but I mean, I'm actually glad they chose Cali, because that's what did make it fun, and it is part of what made it interesting, is because you know, the movies, the acting, the actors, the settings, the set pieces, and just kind of added to it. It really just made it like, you can't go wrong with Cali, because there's so much there. There's so much to look at and do and see and whatever. And I feel like it's also kind of a cop-out too sometimes, because it's like, you know what, man, Dead Island 2 is coming back all these years later. Or Dead Island series, franchise, whatever, brand. Fuck, man. We didn't get any PS4 stuff. It doesn't, you know, really come around till PS5, which is interesting. They skipped a whole generation. To be fair, I guess there was... I know the games are related. I don't remember if it was the same studio. I don't really feel like... I don't know if that really makes sense or not, but... I realize the Dying Light games are, like a universe crossover. I don't really know the details, but... You know, maybe instead of Dead Island, people are getting Dying Light instead. I don't know. I never played Dying Light. I've always been Team Dead Island, so I don't really bother to look into all that too much. But I know enough. I know that there's a, you know, a relative thing there. Yeah. I don't know. This game still had all the cool things that made Dead Island 1 and Riptide fun. I don't even know if I can count Riptide, honestly, because like that game, I don't remember it like at all. It's pretty unforgettable. Compared to 1. I like that it's around and it's a thing, and I think that's fair, and just more Dead Island, but it's kind of, it could just exist, that's about it. Yeah. I don't know, there really wasn't much to this game. There was like Cali, zombies, the same things you'd expect if you played the old games. If you haven't, you should. What are you doing? Yeah, it's a melee mostly melee based zombie game. But yeah, warning, the only downside I really had was like there's just too many zombies too often. I mean, when you didn't have to deal with them, it was kind of nice, but like, I don't know. You know, because you got to think of like, what if I was... Most people don't have that kind of imagination or creativity. That's fair, but it's hard not to think of like, hey, what if I was a zombie slayer in Cali? I'm the one that happens to be taking all these zombies down. Sure, it's not realistic at all, but we're talking zombies anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But you know, like, dude, I gotta heal up, man. I gotta have a game plan. I gotta eat something real quick. I gotta... That's what games don't do. Okay, I gotta take a dump. Need something to drink, dude. Take a nap. And there's places for that, but that's why it unfortunately reminds me too much of like Back 4 Blood, is because like, oh, there's these safe areas in between all these other areas. It's like, bro, you know, some people like the gameplay enough where it's like, that's what they don't mind just doing that all day, the whole day. Especially when you're playing for hours and hours, like, it just drives me crazy after a while. Because you want to progress and just get through the game, and maybe you're playing like, you know, 8+ hours a day or something for a whole week straight. I don't know. It's just exhausting and takes all the energy out of you, and you're just constantly stuck. Dude, it's so repetitive. I don't like the repetition. But it is fun. I do like everything looks so nice that when you do explore, and you know, whether you have to deal with zombies along the way the whole time or not, it's like, hey, it's kind of worth it. It's kind of fun. That's why this game is as good as it is, because of the fact that it knows that it knows what it is. It knows that it's bothering you with zombies the whole time, so like, you're gonna make it worth it by throwing zombies at you everywhere, because everywhere you go, you know, oh, this is a nice house, a nice area, ooh, maybe this place is clean, this is a little run down, maybe we get a beach, maybe we get like an amusement park, maybe we get a sewer. The most appealing thing is making it to that next area. Like, oh, what's next? What's it gonna be? What kind of zombies are next? So they do kind of make it, but the issue here is it's slightly open world-ish, which is a big part of what I remember Dead Island 1 being about. So you could be spending a lot of time in one area, so it's like, dude. You know, and in that case, it's like, hey, there's like one safe spot in one general area. So, I don't know. I want to give the game crap for there being too many zombies, but there are times where, you know, it's really not that bad, but I guess it's one of those things where I just want the game to be slightly different, but you just gotta kind of accept it for the way that it is. Like, I love the universe, I love the world, I love the style, I love the humor, the sense of humor, the comedy relief, But to be fair, there are zombie games out there where if that's what you want, if you want this way more kind of like you against the world type thing and survival really, but not just survival for the sake of survival, but like tactical, stealthy, that's not this game at all. You know, it's supposed to be zombie carnage and use it, makeshift weapons and do-it-yourself things and using the elements, and to be fair, there's still some strategy involved, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it's exactly like, oh, you get to kill the zombies however you want, whatever way you want. They give you plenty of options, but yeah. Gameplay is cool.
Back up, stink breath! I can kill them.
But overall, I had a good time. It's just I can't say the game's perfect, and I can't really say that about any game. There's always going to be a downside of... It's good to at least fit in like one negative thing I would have to say. No, because dude, how many 10 out of 10s are there, actually? Not a lot. And honestly, if that's even a thing at all, like, I don't really believe it, to be fair. It's just like, really? Yeah. But, you know, being a next-gen game, being priced the way that it is, and how expensive it is, and all these things. You know, it's tough because we want games to be a certain way. We want it to be dynamic and ever-changing and adjust to the way that we want it to be like, and it's never like that. Every game is scripted. And not just scripted as in like, oh, this little section's scripted. Like, the entire game is scripted, man. With like little bits and pieces of actual illusions of freedom. It's a pre-done, pre-rendered, pre-made, pre-edited, everything system, simulation of a certain criteria that, you know, comes out of people's heads into some computer. Yeah, other good things. I've already given it quite a bit of credit so far, to be fair. Like, that's the only reason why I emphasize kind of the way I would want to be playing it as much as I have, is because there's really not much else bad things to say. I didn't have many problems with it, like, oh, maybe this section was too hard or unfair, or like, remember like any bugs or glitches really, or crashes, or you know, there might have been some of that here and there, but it's nothing really to notice, if anything. I don't know, it's made pretty well, and it kind of had to be too. Like, if it's coming back after all these years, kind of keeping the Dead Island franchise alive. So it did a good job at that. It really brought it back to life and brought the universe back, and you know, whether you played the old games or not, it could have been a great game to just kind of pick up and play if you like zombies. You know, there's not a lot of good AAA quality, high production value zombie games out there, man. So you gotta snatch that up when you can. Dude doesn't like zombies, honestly. So get some, you know. Yeah. I guess another slightly negative thing would be I didn't really like where the story went. I mean, let's face it, we're not really playing this for the story. I mean, I was half for the story, sure, but like it's a gameplay heavy game. It's mostly about the combat and the battling systems and whatever. But the story is just kind of like, eh. So I like Dead Island 1, there didn't really need to be much of a story, man. You're trapped on an island, you're trying to get out. That's about it, really. And the tough thing with zombies, man, is there's not always going to be a lot of great ways to get that story across because of the fact that it's so obvious of what it is that it's trying to do. So, you know. But, yeah, it just got weird. It really does remind me back for Blood, Left 4 Dead in that way of kind of just like this crazy, wacky, goofy, odd, strange direction that they could take halfway through if they really wanted to. And they went there, they did that. And you know, I think Dead Rising did a similar thing as well. So, I mean, it's not really that surprising. I guess within that genre of like this non-serious kind of zombie type stuff, it's not that surprising. It's been done before. It's nothing original or new, but whatever. But that's why Resident Evil is so successful, is because they can kind of, you know, they have no problem going there. But they also know how to really keep that serious tone as well, and it's just like this really fine-tuned balance there somewhere. But Dead Island's just like, you know what, fuck it, let's just do this thing. Okay. Whatever. It's all good. Yeah, can't go wrong. Couple downsides. Gameplay, keep you busy, plenty to do, things to see, places to go, people to talk to. Just kind of a game to play, really. I mean, I don't know if it's something that someone's gonna leave like, oh my god, that was such an amazing, good game, holy cow. But it's a game to play for variety's sake and diversity, and something to either add to what you already play or something different, whatever it may be. It's can't really go wrong. Good overall universal general game to play for anybody. So yeah, Dead Island 2.